Part of difficulty in world has to do with intelligence. Standing next to a man with the Arizona State shirt, university, yellow colored, skinny human who's got a computer science degree and goes faster than A plus B equals C in quantum mathematics and has a computer at home now. He talks faster, he talks smarter, and he moves quicker than most of those around him now. Their societies, secretive rituals and practices, Facebook communities with friends who study different kinds of engineering and computer science and physics. And for anyone who's not at their level of achievement, there's emotion, confusion, poverty, and suffering a lot of times. Having opportunity in world now, especially in Seattle, Washington, involves Amazon. Businesses no longer open, such as bars and restaurants, coffee shops, retail businesses. And within our city in Seattle, as an example, within Seattle City, as an example, there's requirements for social interactions. There's communist, there's socialist city council members, there's a mayor who can't do much else other than veto, recommend, wait, and quietly and patiently stand by for her next orders, for the mayor's next received instructions from a city council now. And what's so noticeable has to do with sound. The smart, the intelligent, the friendly, the rambunctious and laughter filled person and world who has no difficulty during a coronavirus pandemic now and lives a similar life as they did before. Rioters broke windows and graffiti businesses, and a governor declared no more shopping, no more freedom now. There's almost no explainable option other than a duality I'm explaining now. With a world and freedom, and a government and restriction and control and more requirements and more limits and more community organizing and more system with processes for de-escalation. Psychology, psychiatry, health and medicine at the University of Washington Medical Center, and deliveries instead of visits to places, and food sent from a vehicle instead of walking to a restaurant now. Intelligence and opportunity for those who have a prestigious college degree in STEM, who are philosophers and theorists, along with programmers and software engineers and self driving car technicians. Facebook security update teams, and Twitter blocking users who keep track of right and wrong, truth and failure. Now, one of the biggest lies the world has ever known, a planet Earth has ever seen or heard or had to live with on an object floating in outer space with humans inhabiting a land and soil with trees and animals, a part of a galaxy and a universe different than an asteroid and some dark matter. However, similar to getting in a rocket and going off of Earth and out into the dark black towards the stars. And people keep arguing all we need has to do with free college, more services, and just make people better and more comfortable while they're floating in outer space. And then the people with the Teslas and the people with the thousands of dollars of rents, homes, and multi-million-dollar mansions on Mercer Island will recycle more and use less gasoline for their generator on an island where they have a vacation property to visit whenever they get bored with a city and a civilization they have made to be what they want in a world on a planet Earth. They say they can make the best and most beautiful and most awesome. And worst of all, drug addicts, recovering methamphetamine users and crack, heroin, smokers and injectors and puffers and humans whose brains no longer have cognitive ability similar to someone at Microsoft and Google, Facebook, or Amazon and have to watch world and have no input, no ability to be the change they wish to see in the world other than eating a mostly vegan, healthy diet, going to a doctor's appointment on a calendar date scheduled by a counselor, social worker, and having teeth cleaned at a dentist to look pretty in the face and beautiful with the mouth. So everyone and everything make sense and therefore can continue to be better and more aware with consciousness now. And similar to a slave in the old years, hundreds of years ago, humans are forced to obey attention, eyes, time, eye contact, posture, gesture, behavior, while being observed by a person walking their dog who has a cat in their home, a mother and a child normally out having fun and playing. An old man with a hat that says OG. A person with a bandana. A person who's leaning outside of a car yelling at colonizers. And lastly, a mystery involved with intelligence and opportunity. Spending 10 years with neuroscience research and engineering ambitions, and having only a woman who walks around outside in a world she freely inhabits, at a moment's notice calling me a devil, a killer, and who the fuck am I? Who yells out to a landlord, I was gonna slit her throat. She was in danger of the Buddhist man who wants to be a pediatric neurosurgeon, doctor, neurologist. And I, crossing a street, was at risk for causing harm to those they say I was throwing objects at, and needed more psychiatric treatment and more time in a bed and a more better treatment with some medication and a blood draw. To have a city, Seattle, Capitol Hill, in Washington State, a change they wish to see in the world now.